Happy Sunday, Apprentices. I'm Clayton Allen. I'm host of the Day Trading Plumber and founder here at AllenFx. So every Sunday, I go through the 28 currency pairs that I trade, and we look for support and resistance levels on a daily time frame. And now, if you've watched this for a couple weeks or since the beginning, if you went back and watched all these, you would know I don't just trade exactly as soon as price gets there, but I'm simply setting up areas I think we have a high probability of price reversing. So as we go through this video, you'll see I stay on the daily charts. I look for highly probable areas, and I put little prediction arrows and some possible areas to take trades from. I post those on my free Telegram channel, and so people can follow along real time, and if there's any changes, they would get a notification. Now, I also have a paid channel where people get the exact moment, position size, and all the MT4 details you would need to copy my trades manually on my own accounts. So if you're interested in those, I got links in the show notes below, and we got a lot to cover today, so let's get started. Glad you're here. All right, let's not waste any more time. Boom, there's the desktop. All right, so again, I'm on TradingView. I use TradingView. I changed my colors up a little bit, trying out some darker colors this week. So if you got any comments with that, write into the show. If you like it, if you hate it, whatever. So let's go to our watch list, and we'll go from top down. Actually, you know what? Let's go for bottom up this week. All right. We'll come back to Mr. Peso. All right. USJPY. So the dollar pairs after the day after or the week after non-farm payroll. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out my podcast yet, a new episode just dropped today, so go check it out. I'll put a link for that in the notes below as well. So let's my charts are all messed up from showing people some things in a video on the podcast. All right, so let's get her sized up here so you can see we have our bullish zone still in this area. And we're basing that off of these two daily candles, and this we're pretty close to this S2. But you guys can see price came down, almost hit R2 here where we have our resistance level, and then pretty much touched the pivot. And then we've had two bullish days in a row. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna hover here. I still think a stretch down might be good, but we might have guessed this area wrong, and we might just have bullish activity all the way up here this week, possibly breaking this high. But we will see. If we get these tools off of here. Okay, if we use our fun little Fibonacci retracement tool, we're sitting at the 3.8. So those of you that have watched me long enough, when I use this tool and we don't break the 0.382 or we stop on the 0.236, I'm looking for some sort of double bottom. Price going to range down here below. But if we get a break above, it's most likely going to come to these two levels. Then I'll start looking for a short here, or if we break these levels, then I'll look for a double top or a continuation of this trend. All right, there's a quick lesson for you guys. All right, we're never going to get through this unless. So I'm going to leave our prediction arrows off this. I think we're going to get a bounce, possibly up to the 618. There's my prediction, guys. All right, so the USD Swiss franc. All right, so maybe we geez, sorry guys. I'm going to put my bullish area there because now we had that turn. I'm going to put the alert right there. Yes. But we predicted the bounce. We just were a little too low on it, right? We were all the way down here at the 618 off of this, and it went halfway then we got that bounce. So we missed that one. So have that. Now, where do I think where price is right now? We'll put that arrow. I think we're at least coming back up here, guys. Here's why. We almost got to the 618. We have some positive movement on the dollar against the Swiss franc, but I think long term we're going to end up with some turmoil. Why have these not updated yet? Because why is it showing me non-farm payroll still? Okay, whatever. So I think we're going to get a pull push up to here, or possibly start taking a turn where we're at. If we throw Fibonacci on this impulse leg, we are sitting right at 618 right now, right? We busted a little above it. So if, it kind of tells me we're going to come up back up to zero, or possibly continuation of that trend. So I like where I have the arrow. We're going back to our bearish zone, and we're going to see what happens there. Let's clean up some of the noise. I want to put alert right here, guys. So 98949. All right. USD CAD. All right. So we had this strong bullish move we all know about. And then we had the little bit of relax. Came down to our bullish zone. And now I think we're going to be range trading this in between this range. So here's the pivot. Might get a pushback all the way up to here. I would love that, because I'd be a definite seller from up here. It's kind of in no man's land for me now. If we come back down to our bullish, I'll be looking for buys. Like I said, I think we're going to range it here until we get a solid breakout. NZD USD. So we have a winning trade. I closed this trade last week because I didn't want to see some weirdness happen on non-farm payroll. So I think what we're going to get, guys, is for sure to the 618. That's where we're going to look for a bounce. I'm going to leave our bullish zone down here in case we get into this range. But this is going to be an area I want to know about. So 57879. Bam. All right. NZD JPY. Kind of the same thing. You could see our prediction arrow for last week. We did get some decline. Now we're kind of stalling out. So we're going to wait to see what price does out of this little straddle move here. I still think we're going to get some downside down to here. It might be a little aggressive. So let's pull it right here. See what we get at this level. I'm going to throw in an alert at 61913. Which, isn't a bad short down to it. You have the momentum moving that way. We're not on 30 on our side. We kind of got this break. So, it's not a bad short level. You can see that daily candle came up to the former day's close, closing high, and started coming back down. So it's not a bad idea to throw in a short. Plus, the JPY tends to get stronger in recession times or in weakness of the dollar. And with a bad non-farm payroll that we didn't see a lot of production off of last week, and some devaluation of the dollar happening with the feds, it's not a bad play fundamentally either. So NZD CHF, I like the look at this ranging that we're doing. We didn't get the drop that I was hoping last week to give us this really cheap buy. So I'm kind of in the same boat here. I'm going to put the arrow. I think we're going to get some downside, and then this is a great place to be a buyer at. NZD CH or NZD CAD. Okay, Ooh, we got that stretch down. I still think, I'm going to move my prediction arrow. I still think we're going to get a little downside. And then this would be where I want to take the trade. This is where it's cheap. I still need to go in and change all the colors of my writing here to match, but hopefully you guys can see I haven't been changing these colors. I'll go back and change the ones that... Okay, we're on British pound, US dollar. So I still think we got some downside on this. I closed the trade before non-farm payroll or right after it. But, non-farm payroll shocked me, guys. I thought we knew there'd be bad numbers. I thought we'd see some weakness in the dollar. So I'm actually caught in a few dollar shorts where they're no big trouble. But I thought we would have got a lot more production out of the non-farm payroll news than we did. So that's the fun of trading, guys. So I had my alert up here. I'm gonna move my alert now. I want to see what we do at the 618. Okay, that's where I think we're gonna get some weakness in the dollar this week, and I think we're going to. Excuse me. I think we're gonna get some more strength in the dollar. Enough technical traders pushing this down to the 618, and that's where I think I want to be a buyer, but I'm not going to move my bullish zone up there. I'm just going to put an alert there. But if we get all the way back down to here, I'm a definite buyer, a long-term buyer, but this would be one of my intraday, intra-week moves if we start to see it bounce at the 618. Okay, turn that orange. I get a lot of questions of what these colors are. Guys, orange is usually we're in no man's land. Red means we're starting out right where we want to look. Blue would mean I've already done a recording after the Sunday setup on TradingView, so I can keep track of videos I've done. Believe it or not, it's hard to keep track of. All right, so this is a trade that we are in, and just waiting for it to pop. It came up to our bearish zone. I'm looking for a good pull down. If I were to really zero in on a take profit, I'd probably use my Fibonacci tool and the 618. In between the 618 and the 5 is a good area. Back down to this pivot is a decent area, but you could see the last week's pivot is just sitting. We've kind of been hovering around, which could give you this false feeling that we're going to get that big push up because we already have a finger pointing at us right here. I like to call these the middle finger if you're trading against them, because sometimes they're just sitting there pointing at you saying, here's where a price is going to get to eventually. And you're shorting it. So flip you off. All right. So British pound JPY, same thing. I think what we're starting to see here, guys, let me get rid of this. We had that trend line break. We're flirting with our bearish zone again. I think we're going to get some sort of a little double top scenario here, and that's where we're going to want to sell from. We do have to be careful because the 618 from this move is still above here, so we may get that push up. So that's why I did jump right in the trade. I think that the Japanese yen is going to have some strength this week, and we might get that double top, and this would be a really good place to sell from, with keeping in mind we might get that push up to the 618 off of this bearish trend. All right, British pound, Swiss franc, same thing, guys. We haven't got that push we were looking for. Let's get rid of this old arrow. If we were to use our Fibonacci retracement tool, yeah, look for price to come into this area. I'm going to put an alert right here. 16101. Bam. So if we get a pushed out here, we're going to start looking for a buy trade from here. But if we continue to push, I'm not a buyer until we get down to this my bullish zone that I got plotted here. One thing I want to check while I'm here is let's not forget this monster move, right? And look where we're at. So we're right in between the 618 and the 5, and we're starting to see some bearish activity here. So it's not a bad sell play. You know, I mean, we kind of missed the top, but some of you that want to be trend line break traders, we're starting to get flirt in that area. So smaller time frame confirmation. If you get another test of this top, or if we get a push up to the 618, we could be sellers from up there too. And that's why I have this bearish zone here, guys. This is the former play. So this could go all the way to 0, but if we do have a trend confirmation change, this would be where we look for our first buy. If not, if we come all the way back down here, you know, typically this fib says that we're going to extend past this. I usually don't play it past 0. Just give you another insight of what I do. All right, British pound CAD, price kind of all over the place. I am still waiting to see what price does here. We had a lot of wishy-washy moves. I'm not a seller unless we get all the way up here. Let me get this arrow out of the way. Put this one where price is as of Sunday. I think we're going to get a move here. And then this would be, this area, it's kind of a big area, would be where I want to buy from. This is where I think price is pretty cheap, but I'm going to make the area kind of big because we're in some choppy waters here, guys. And I don't want to get try to be too precise because look at this dip, this breakout, false breakout we had. So pretty big bullish zone. You know, I'd like to wait for it to get pretty deep into that zone just so we don't get caught in some kind of wave dip like that. All right, British pound, AUD, obvious upward trend, right? Obvious. No one has to be in rocket science to see that. So, you know, I think I was being aggressive last week. I'm not a buyer unless we get down to this range. Get rid of some of these arrows. So I'm more bearish on this pair where we're sitting. So I think if we start to see that move, we have a missed pivot here, which is a great target, but I think we're gonna get some downside action off this pair this week. And let me put my right where price is at. I think we're going to continue up into this bearish area, possibly a push all the way up to this R2. Here's 2 middle fingers telling us where price is going. So, you know, this one's pretty sketchy. You know, I like it there, but it's going to be really hard to predict when this happens. And, you know, seeing what I'm seeing or what price is telling me, I'm really going to wait until up there. I mean, there's no sense in us getting trapped in some BS right now. So, Euro CAD. Oh, we had a head and shoulders. Look at that. And we're still kind of in this box. See this box right here? Don't pay attention, that's red. So we could just range trade in between here. I think we have enough proof now that this level's pretty solid. Where price is sitting right now, I think might get a push back down to this area. Then that would be where we want to buy from and play this range. We may not get that push because you got that retest there, and it may just go bullish straight from off the retest of last week. But typically Sunday on open, price just kind of ranges, around. There's some gaps. So I'm not a buyer until we retest this bottom. Euro US dollar, you can see, let's get rid of these old trades. I have my alert down here. I think we're going to continue. Let me get rid of this box. I think we're going to continue this downside probably all the way down to this level, and then I want to be a buyer. Now, there was some drama with the dollar last week, obviously, with non-farm payroll, and we didn't see much production off of it. So we could just see that starting right out of the gate this week. But let's just throw a Fibonacci on here. I actually did get long off the 618 before the NFP, because we all knew it would be bad news on the dollar, and we were sitting at the 618, so I thought there'd be a lot more buyers. There just wasn't, so I'm going to go through a decent stretch of drawdown on this move if it does come all the way down. But I think now that we broke that 618, we could be going all the way back down to this zero level, which won't be fun, but that's where we will be targeting our strike to put in a good rollover trade. Okay, NZD, our Euro NZD. You can see the prediction arrow for midweek. I still think I'm not doing anything unless we get a pull down to this or we get a push up to there. Euro JPY. Okay, so this is one that I will turn red. We did not get that bounce like we hoped on last Sunday, but it looks like we are getting some positive signs that our bullish zone is ready. And I love this pivot as a take profit. So this will be one we look at entering right out of the gate, seeing what the weekend did, and don't really have to have that big of a stop loss. You risk to reward people. We could probably go pretty tight, but I may enter this if it pulls all the way back down to here. I kind of like that. So, when I put these on here, guys, doesn't mean that's the exact level I'm going in. If you want to see the exact level I'm going in, you got to join my paid Telegram service where I just have an EA that sends a signal right when I take trades on my own account. So I'm gonna watch this pair and hope for a bigger push all the way down to this red line, which is kind of where we see these fingers, these wicks turned around. Be a great place to buy and trade this range. But you can see we have a pretty solid range here, and it price is waiting to break out and screw everyone over in these range trades. But for now, I think we could play it. British pound, GBP. So you can see I'm in this trade. I traded right off of this. I actually had it lower and then midweek pulled it up a little bit, but you can see former resistance. Then we broke through. Now we're testing it again. These are signs that we have a really good play in this range. So I love this missed pivot. I would like to see it bounce past it, but I still like this play from Wednesday. I'll move the arrow. Oh, dang it. Whatever. Let's try to move the arrow over. But yeah, I think we still have some upside on this. If we go back to this big play, this big bullish move, right? right at the 618, guys. 618, bam. So I like it. There's a lot of things pointing that direction. You're just going to have to be patient and let it happen that way. This one, I want to turn green because I'm in a trade. Okay, Euro, Swiss franc. I like this range trade, so I'm going to put a alert at 05360. 05360. Bam. So if we get another push down to this area, I'm going to look for that buy. Euro AUD. My favorite pair. So we have big pull up. We're waiting for it to get to the 618. It just can't quite get there, guys. But that's what I'm still waiting for unless I get this trend line break. So I'm not a buyer unless we pull all the way down the 618. I'm not a seller unless we break this trend, or I'm not a buyer at a different level unless we break this trend line. And I'm definitely not a seller unless I see a double top at this level or all the way up to our middle finger level. That's basically just telling us where price wants to go. Swiss franc, JPY. So we got in a trade off of this tip, and now we're waiting for our play. I love this range trade. What I don't like is I think we're going to get some strength in the JPY. So we may shorten this plan. Maybe if we get to that pivot level, I'm happy. So let's see what happens if price gets up to that pivot level. Obviously, if it comes all the way back down here, we will close it and switch our position on a break. All right, CAD JPY. We're in middle zone here. I think where we're sitting right now, possibly up there, I'll be a seller, and then from there, I like it back down in this range. So not a bad buy, at least up to this pivot. And then once it touches this pivot, it's kind of no man's land. And you're either going to get a push back up to this level, test this level, and then get a good spot, or a push back down to this level and be a good buy. CAD, Swiss franc, still in our box, guys, from my podcast I did last Sunday. Where we called this shelter in place strategy, where you get this big move up or down and you see these ranges. It's simple support and resistance. You can play off these ranges fairly well, and because you have this bearish move, the sells work out much better than these buys. And what we're waiting for, guys, long term, what we're waiting for is a solid breakthrough, either upside or downside of this. And then, you play off that move. But right now, range trade, this should be red because we should be selling. Let's just get rid of our box. Let's do this right. So this is a sell zone. And this is our buy zone. Turn it green. That's right. I have a template. Yeah. I don't know where my white lettered bullish, but you can see where we're buying and selling in this box. And right now, it's a decent sell. So if I were to have a position on, we had this finger that faked everyone out, and I like it all the way down, and I would put my stop loss above the finger. It's a little trickier because it's Sunday and you could have a gap up. So I would wait a little bit and try to find the best price if you're looking for sell. Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay. Here's our alert, guys. Missed it by just a little bit. So I'm going to move my alert. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, I'm going to move my alert down right there. But now what we're looking for came up to the 618 almost perfectly. And now we got this bearish move. So, I'm going to predict this is going to continue at least down to 0 or some sort of this area. And that's where we're going to be looking for a buy. I'm going to get rid of this old noise. It's almost hopping perfectly. A lot of these pairs are doing exactly what we guessed them to do. So I think we're going to continue with this down to our area. They were buyers. So it's not a bad sell for some of you guys. It's not a bad sell. You have, this is probably the 618 off this fib here. We could just prove it. Boop. There you go. 618. Now I play it back to 0 or halfway there. It's not a bad play, guys. Australia JPY, same thing. If you want to see that, didn't quite get to the 618, but we got in this go zone in between, and we're starting to stall out. And all of our other yen pairs, we're seeing the strength in the yen. So, I'm not a buyer until we get down to there. And these aren't all these aren't bad sells from where they're sitting. It's almost too obvious. And you guys know what I say when things are too obvious. Usually it doesn't work. And things go against you and kick you in the balls. All right, guys. Thanks for coming back again. If you got any questions or comments, throw them in the comments section below. Check out the links I got in the show notes. Get on the free Telegram channel, and start following along if you want to get these things set up. And if you guys have any questions, if you've never heard of Forex before, and you want my help on how to get a demo account or anything rolling, shoot me an email at claytona@allenfx.com. And as always, have a great week, and let's go make some money together. All right, over and out.